All right, hello everyone. See if anyone's in the world of Facebook right now. We're going to talk about roofing and kind of how to do a quick checkup on your insurance policy to make sure if something happens. Hey Jimmy, hey Donnie, if something happens and a storm comes through and you want to make sure that you are covered. All right, so storm season's coming. What do I mean by storm damage? Storm damage, typically with roofing, that's what I do. That's what I can answer pretty much any question you guys might have. So if you have any questions about roofing, go ahead and let me know that too in the comments. I'll try to answer them. Even if it's not about storm damage, I'll do what I can. And hey Kim, hey Sabrina, hey Barbara. So with storm damage, we normally mean hail damage, wind damage, might have a tree fall or something. That's a different thing. But for the most part, that's what I'm in Georgia. So usually that's what you're going to be seeing here. And yeah, so with wind damage, believe it or not, most shingles that are on people's homes are hey Sarah, hey Kayla, hey, if you guys are watching this later and it's not live, say hashtag replay. Go ahead and say where you're from. Some of you might be in a different code area too. That'll kind of help me understand some of the questions as well. And thank you, Sarah. So, okay, most shingles are typically that are aging out might be what we call a 3-tab shingle. That is going to be rated at probably a 20-year. Very few that are aging out right now are rated at 25 years. That means in a perfect world, those shingles are going to last for 20 or 25 years. Architectural roofs are a little bit thicker shingle. They're designed a little differently. Most of them are aging out at 30 years for the ones that you're seeing on roofs right now. But those 3-tab shingles especially, they're usually never make it to the full 20 years. But what happens is they get weathered, they get storm damage, and if you have a storm that has a big downburst, they can be pretty significant. Those 3-tab shingles are only rated to 60 miles per hour. So when you've got a big storm come through and the wind hits it just right, it can totally happen that it's going to separate and break that seal on that shingle. And when it breaks the seal on that shingle, now you're creating an area where water can come into your roof, create further damage and leaks. Same thing with hail damage. It's now really the integrity of the shingle is being damaged when that hail hits it. Again, it can lead to leaks and further damage inside your home if you don't do anything about it in a timely manner. So with that, your insurance company does not want to pay for further damage, and they actually will cover your roof as an act of God type of damage when wind, hail, those types of things happen to your home. That being said, you want to make sure you have the right type of policy so that if you do have to file a claim, wind damage, again, very, very common. If you do have to file a claim that it's going to pay for, I see all the likes going up, that you are covered. You want to make sure you have what they call an RCV policy. That is a replacement cost value policy. What that means is that if something happens to your roof, your insurance company will pay for it to be replaced. Some people have things, all the likes and love. Some people have types of policies that's called an actual cash value policy or an ACV policy, and don't even know it. Maybe it was a well-meaning insurance agent that was trying to get you the cheapest policy possible. But the reason you don't want an ACV policy is because, say something does happen to your roof, you have damage and you need to replace your roof. Depending on the size of your roof, most people don't even realize the cost of a roof on average could be around $10,000. That's why this matters. If you have an ACV policy that's only paying for the value of your roof at the time, your insurance company might only give you $2,000. Whereas if you have the other type of policy, a replacement cost value policy that you want, that would actually pay for the full value of your roof, less whatever your deductible is. Let's talk about deductibles. It's pretty standard to have $1,000 deductible, at least in our area. It's changing though. We're starting to see a lot of people when they're getting their homeowners insurance policies, or they're getting a new policy or whatnot, that they are changing these policies into having a certain percentage. We had it almost happen to us on our personal home where it was a renewal. I happened to just look at it was just a 4-page notice of, hey, we're renewing your policy. And on the 4th page, I saw that they were increasing our deductible to a percentage deductible. We like to keep $1,000 deductible. Again, that's what I recommend. It's enough to kind of, if something crazy is going on, it's manageable. But they were trying to change our deductible to $3,000 without telling us. This happens. We've seen it surprise other homeowners as well when they come to us with a claim. So I knew what this would play out as. I called them up. I said, hey, look, I don't want my deductible to be increased. What's the difference for me to go back to $1,000 deductible? Guys, it was $14 for a year to change my deductible from $3,000 something to $1,000. That's the best $14 of insurance you can ever spend to have an affordable deductible. That's the other thing you want to make sure of. So you want to make sure you have a replacement cost value policy, not an actual cost value. So you want RCV, not ACV, so it'll pay for the full value of your roof. And you want to make sure that your deductible is what you think it is and that they have not increased it on a renewal and you are not aware of it. Please do not be one of our homeowners that is shocked to find out that their deductible has gone up and they did not know about it. You can get lower deductibles. We see $250 or $500. Again, that's your personal preference. I think $1,000 is a good, that's where most people have their deductibles at. That's a common question. What do most people have? $1,000 deductible is what we see. With that policy, also with a lot of renewals we're seeing, if you're getting a new policy, is that they are not putting code upgrade on there. That now, what used to be standard on policies, it looks like now they're making more of an endorsement. Code upgrade, what that does, let's say you have an old roof and that roof is missing drip edge. That's a metal edging, that's a waterproofing element that goes around the exterior of your home where your shingles meet your fascia. And that drip edge was not code in Georgia up until a couple years ago. It became code. And again, when you're dealing with insurance claims on your roof in a storm damage scenario, they will not pay you for that drip edge to replace your roof back to its original situation, to a brand new roof. A drip edge, again, depending on the house, that could be $500 they're not paying for. Another common thing that your code upgrade will cover could be your valleys. Most homes that were built in this area should have valley metal on them, but if that valley metal is not there and you do not have code upgrade, they are not paying for your valley treatment. Now we're not doing valley metal. The more common product now that you see, gosh, everyone, thank you for watching. I'm seeing all the likes going through. Now we're not really doing valley metal. You're seeing ice and water membrane being used. It's a kind of rubbery membrane that, again, is more of a healing thing, whereas in the past they would use a big sheet of metal, or not a big sheet, but just a sheet of metal. It would go through, they nail it down. Guess what? Everywhere that you've got nails in metal, now you've got another penetration point where you can have leaks inside your house. So again, you do not want leaks in your house. That's why we prefer the ice and water shield membrane. Maybe you don't have felt on your roof. Maybe something really crazy happened and you didn't have felt. Again, that's something you got to have on that roof. So that's why you definitely want to make sure that you have code upgrade on your policy. So another quick thing, some of y'all may have heard about discontinued shingles. That is the Atlas Chalet shingle that was made. We're starting to see less of them now, but there is a shingle out there that, because they no longer make it and it's a different size, that we can't repair it. It just, there's no like product. So guess what? If part of your roof is damaged, we can't repair it. So we are now, that is one thing that, depending on the insurance company now, again, that will cover for your roof to be replaced if you have storm damage and it's deemed something that can't be repaired because they don't make the shingle anymore. You know, if any of y'all have any roofing questions, feel free to put them in the comments too. I'm answering, you know, any other general roof questions you have. This is what I do. in case y'all don't know, my husband and I started Total Pro Roofing back in 2012. And there's a voluntary licensing program with the Roofing and Sheet Metal Contractors Association of Georgia. I'm the one that did the licensing program. So I'm your roofing nerd. That is where I wear my hat most of the time. So I know I am a female, but I do know a very good amount about roofing. That being said, let's say it's time to get a roof. What really should you be putting on your home? You really need to be putting an architectural shingle on your home. That's the roof that kind of has like a, what's the word I'm looking for? A 3-tab shingle is kind of a flat shingle, but your architectural shingle is kind of has a thatched, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going brain dead right now. It is 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night. But it's going to have more dimension to it. Some people will call it a dimensional shingle. That shingle, we use Certainty Landmark. I love that product. Their warranty is phenomenal on it. That shingle is rated at 50 years. And if you were doing that over a regular 3-tab shingle, it's 10% of the price to upgrade to that shingle, and you're doubling the lifespan of your roof from a 25-year 3-tab basic, what they call a traditional shingle, to an architectural shingle. It's really a no-brainer. It just looks greater. Over time, a home will settle, and you'll start to see the structural support. You'll see the beams come through. It's maybe not something you see very much with the old roof, but when that new roof goes on, it's got new shingles that are adhering to the situation. And an architectural shingle, a laminate's another name for it, will help mask some of the settling that you'll see in a home. Again, definitely want to do that. There's another product called Landmark Pro. Again, it's a small increase over just another Landmark architectural shingle. In Georgia, we get black streaks on roofs. That is algae. People don't really know that, but yes, it's algae is what those black streaks are. The Landmark Pro shingle adds 5 years to your algae rating. So essentially you're fighting your algae on there for 15 years. I know copper helps fight algae. I'm not 100% sure if that's what the chemical is that they're adding to the shingle. I believe so. But again, it helps prevent that streaking from happening, which in Georgia is a huge deal. You do not want black streaks on your roof because that algae it's a plant, so it's got its little roots and it's going down into the granules and into the mat of that shingle. Again, it's going to help break that shingle apart and deteriorate the quality of your shingle. That is not covered by an insurance policy if you have algae on your roof. It's just something to be aware of. Does anyone have any roofing questions? Y'all are quiet tonight. I see everyone watching, but you're quiet. Let's see, anything else on my notes? Again, if you're just joining, say hello, say where you're watching from. Feel free to share this too. This might help some friends understand that they need to adjust their policy for, in our case, it was $14. It changed our deductible from $3,000 to $1,000. Let me see, anything else? That's kind of it as far as being ready for storm season. You want to make sure that you make these changes to your policy and discuss it before a storm comes, because once that storm happens and you file a claim, they're going to be looking to see when you've made the changes to your policy. And you can change your policy mid-year. You don't have to wait till renewal. You can call them and adjust it, but you want to make sure you make those changes before a storm date happens. And also, too, let's say you've got wind damage on your roof. We do free inspections. So just let us know. We can go just kind of give you a peace of mind inspection, but you might have wind damage up there you don't know about. It's very common that you don't see the damage from the ground, but a lot of people find that they have something that definitely needs to be addressed with their insurance. And with our free inspection, it's peace of mind. You're really not, there's nothing to lose. It's just going to give you a better idea of what's going on with your roof and if there's something you need to be concerned about. The last thing you want is leaks to start happening and now you've got more expenses that you need to repair. Some people will have leaks and it's as simple as a pipe boot repair that's related to your plumbing stacks. They just kind of they crack in the sun over time. They typically will not last the length of your roof life. That's an easy repair. That's the source of a lot of leaks. Super, super easy, but it's going to give you peace of mind to make sure that you don't have any surprises. Also, over here, look what we got earlier this week, y'all. I'm really excited. Actually, it was last week. Was not able to be there. So there's a picture of Jason with it. Can you see what it says? Lighthouse Award. We were given this by Beacon Roofing Supply. And essentially, this is just a really, look, our names on it. Total Pro Roofing. Can you see it? There we go. This essentially, it means a lot to us because in this, look, there's some comments. Let me scroll down here. In this industry, reputation is everything. And so we deal with our, this is our supplier. And for them to be able to recognize us among all the companies and to give us this appreciation that we're doing something right, that we're communicating, that our accounts are in good standing, that the integrity behind all of this, that means a lot to be recognized among your peers, essentially. So again, this is really great. So I'd like to definitely thank everyone over at Beacon too for recognizing us. I do appreciate that, and this is something that we're really proud of. So woohoo! And hold on, some comments. All right, what type of roof? I'm not seeing the timestamp, so I don't know when the questions were asked. What type of roof do we recommend? Definitely get an architectural roof. We like the Certainty product just because we know they stand behind their warranties. In life, things happen, and we have had to do a warranty from a problem with the shingles before. They were super easy to work with, and they actually took care of our client. They made it right. And that says a lot because a warranty means nothing unless you know that they actually stand behind their warranty. So an architectural roof, that's what you need to get. The price difference, again, 10% more, and you're doubling the lifespan of your roof. I mean, that's really simple. Most roofs, depending on the size, it just takes a day to install them. So you're in and out of people's lives pretty quickly. It's fascinating to see how quickly a roof can change the look of a home. And going through the comments, thank you, Anthony. Yeah, Jen, I mean, I see the comment about the wind damage on the roof. Most people don't know. And again, you can't see wind damage from the ground. You don't even know the seals are broken on a roof until you get in there and you flip that shingle up. It'll come up naturally because that seal has been broken. And that's something that our inspectors are trained to do as well. Yes, always. You definitely want a contractor. You never want to file a claim without first having a company like us come out and check and make sure that you really do have that damage. Because if the insurance company denies your claim, you still have a tick on your record. We deal with all insurance companies. So essentially, we know where insurance company thresholds are, and we can pretty much tell if this is something that, maybe your roof has wind damage, but maybe it's not enough for your insurance company to say that they're going to replace the roof. You don't want to file a claim, because if you file a claim and you don't have enough damage, now there's a record that they know that you haven't fixed this thing should a serious claim happen afterwards. But they're going to charge you your deductible, which would kind of go towards the cost of repair. So if you're just repairing a few shingles, guess what? Your deductible, all of that money's coming out of your pocket. So now you've wasted the insurance company's time. You've wasted your claim history, because most insurance companies have a 3 strikes and you're out policy. Meaning, for example, State Farm, which I love State Farm. They're one of my favorites personally in our region. Every region is different. I love State Farm. I have no idea how they are elsewhere, but they are one of my favorites here. And with them, you have a 3 strikes policy. Even if they approve the claim, 3 claims in 3 years, and toodles, sorry, thank you for your business, and they let you go on your way. It's something to be aware of, but again, that's what insurance is for, is when you need it. So you definitely want a qualified contractor like us to come out, check, make sure that you've got legitimate needs to file a claim. That's a free service that we do, because let's say you don't have a damage there. we hope to earn your business, and you come back to us when you are in need of actual repair. So that's something we do. A good sign to know that you need someone to come look at your roof, if you're missing shingles, if maybe you're seeing a lot of your neighbors getting a new roof, they probably know something that you don't know yet. But yeah, so it's, I'm looking to see if there's any more questions. But yeah, if there's anything I can help you guys with, any questions you have, whether it be about, hey, my neighbor's talking about drip edge, what is that stuff? Or underlayments. Synthetic felt is what most people are going to. We love it. It's easier on our crews. It's less dangerous. That underlayment is what's actually underneath your shingles as a secondary defense. In the past, they would use a 15-pound felt, which was like a thick construction paper. So all types of neat tips towards getting you a really quality roof, and one that's going to last the time, and help you out with getting that 50-year roof. I mean, this is something that we should ideally only be doing once in our lifetimes, maybe twice. But yeah, anything I can help you guys with, that is what I do. And I love roofing questions. It's a secret hobby of mine. So thank you everyone who watched. Hope this was helpful. Hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay. Comment if you learned something new, if this was helpful. Share with a friend who this information might help. And if there's anything y'all need, let me know. Thanks. Bye.